Hello, my beautiful creative creatures. It's Megan. I wanted to come back to you again. I know I'm still not using my computer. I'm sorry. I did still buy a new desktop, but hopefully that'll be soon because then my husband can fix it up and make sure it's large enough to hold the capacity I need for video making. 'Cause I need it. Hold on, Athena. And so we're going to be talking about, I believe this is an Arbonne lady again. If not, it's Q Sciences. I forget honestly right now. So this one is about a recent, I guess this past year, change from their company to a different one. So as you can tell, it's been a theme lately where a lot of MLM reps are leaving their companies to go to someplace better. So we're going to watch this, see how it goes, and I hope you enjoy. Also, please like, subscribe, hit the bell down below for any videos, and I hope you enjoy, and let's get started.
She's gonna hop on. All right, like here. Oh,
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. You do sound like you're whispering.
No.
Oh no. Can you see me? Okay, there we go.
Can you hear me louder now?
I can hear you louder now. Maybe it's me. Maybe it's me. Talk. Can you talk?
I can talk.
Okay. Yes, that's better. Okay. I just turned my volume up, and we can only see a couple people down below. Hi, hello. You guys can see us, hear us. Make sure, give us a heart, give us a thumbs up if you can hear us. Okay. Let's not waste any time. I will say we both had question boxes, and we've already talked to each other today, and our question boxes were very, very similar to each other. So we're just gonna kind of I want to say share our hearts, but try and cover the very most frequently asked questions. Would you agree?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. I just want to make sure that you can hear me and it's good, not lagging. The hat is the cutest part.
My hair is all danged up.
So if you guys are new to following either one of us, which if you're watching this live, honestly, you probably have been watching us like flies, like literally flies on a wall. We both were with a previous network marketing company together, and we were both very successful with that. But we also, since we are best friends in real life, like we talk to each other every single day, we were very much just like, this cannot be it. Like, this can't be what it's really supposed to feel like. And I will speak for both of us.
I was gonna say, let me just dive into how we were feeling, because I feel like if you don't share that, that's the important part. Okay. But there were many times when, so she said it, we're very successful in our businesses. We hit the top of the company. If you were looking from the outside in, you would be like, oh my gosh, they've got it going on. But we would cry. We would call each other, and we were just like, something is not right. Like, this is not how it should feel. We're at the top of the company. Like, why are we not feeling fulfilled? Why do we feel like we're trying to beg and drag people to want to do this with us? And we would literally call each other and be so either on the verge of crying or just be like, okay, well, what little side thing could we do? Yeah. Not step away from our company, but what side thing could we do to maybe make us feel a little bit better?
Yeah, and I think sometimes you could be on the outside looking in and see other people who are in network marketing, and then they find something else because it's a passion project. But the reason they say that a lot of the times is because what you are doing all the time isn't fueling you. It's not actually getting your...
This is already starting off so great, as you can tell. They're already switching companies because of, more than likely, they're not making the money that they said they're making. And we already know that they don't make the money they say they're making. So this is already gearing up to be great. And as you can tell in the background, you can see my two kitties. Hazel and Banksy, they're asleep back there. So I figured I'd put them in the background of my shot since we just got new kittens. So let's keep going.
Passion, you are literally showing up what I feel like very robotic and doing what you're supposed to do, what you think you're supposed to do. Oh, do you have your AirPods in? Okay, don't move your hat. It was so anyway, but you get very sidetracked because you're but wait a second, this isn't making me feel my best and I want to. So we both were okay, what can we do? And that's honestly one of the reasons I started my podcast. And you guys, I started my podcast a long time ago because it was these little inklings. I know they're dips, they're valleys. I understand it's not supposed to be
it's supposed supposed to happen, right? Like
Yeah.
valleys and hills are going to happen no matter what you do. But we were to the point where we were literally just like, something is wrong. Like,
yeah. And we
because
had tried
we
so
didn't,
many.
we didn't start a network marketing company. I say this a lot these days, but like I didn't start a network marketing company to be miserable and to not feel good. Like I started this because I want the freedom, I want the excitement, I want the love, I want the fun. And like I will say, when we both started, I know like, well, you had done it a year or so prior to when I started, and when we ran together, we did love it. Like there is not a point where we're like, oh, we never loved this, because we did.
Right.
We loved it and it fulfilled us. But it's kind of one of those like, oh, how do we get back to that? And
well, it was like if our foot wasn't on the gas all the way, all the time, like if we were not going hard.
I'm already getting irritated. The top friend seems to talk a lot over her, and it's already irritating me. I wish she would give her a chance to talk fully, because she's not giving her a chance to talk.
It felt like what we were doing was literally spinning our wheels. And then we were like, but we kept kind of, I would say, like being promised, but being led to believe that if you do this, then you're going to feel better. So once you get to this rank, it's going to be easier. Once you have this many people on your team, once you make this much amount of money, like, oh, don't worry, just wait, just hustle until you get to here, and then you're going to see fulfillment. So we both, like, I would feel like,
we hustled.
would almost, yeah, well, like we would almost like get ourselves by and think of things like twiddle your thumbs until you get to mile number 2. Like we would just think of things to get us, to push us to get to where the happiness was. And I think we both had done it long enough that we were like, okay, like, but it's not actually happening. We loved our journey along the way, but we very much were like, we were waiting for the happiness to show up. We were waiting for the freedom. And it truly came down to, like, we had a situation where we were working super hard and we were revamping everything, doing a lot of work behind the scenes. And I say a lot of work, a lot of work.
And that's like what we had to do, which I'll let you get back to that story, but we had to do that a lot. It was like, okay, we're not feeling the fire. What can we do better? Like, what can we do better to make it better? Then everyone else will want to do it. So we were constantly trying to, and I'm going to sit here and tell you before she tells the story, it's not supposed to feel that way. Like, you shouldn't have to be revamping 24/7. Like, that's actually not normal.
But the thing is, the reason they all always seem to be revamping their companies is because they constantly need to be recruiting more. So they feel the need to stop, basically, I think, and then start again in order to get that income back. So it's a lot of twiddling your thumbs, it's a lot of hamster wheel. It's very repetitive, and I don't know how they do it, because I would be irritated by doing this in general. But the fact that they're saying all this, they're like, oh, well, we need to revamp and we have to do this. Well, yeah, if you did a regular job, at least you get paid for it, and it'd be steady income instead of making $6,000 in a year. You can make over that in a year. All that work seems to be a waste, in my opinion. It doesn't seem to be worth it. That's why I do content creation. I ain't never gonna join an MLM, I know that. And I don't like how predatory they are. And to see other people fall to that is sad. And as a mom, I know why they do it. Even as women and moms, I know why they do it. It's not anything to judge them, because I understand where they're coming from entirely. I mean, granted, the only thing I would say is I wish you would do it in a more ethical way. That's all I'd say to that.
Which we didn't know any better, but you can go on with that part.
You really didn't. Like, once you know better, you do better. So we were like, okay, this is what we're going to do. And we had both invested lots of money into our own course, like a course where we were learning from. And so we were like, okay, we're going to basically regurgitate this into them. They're just lacking belief. So then we were like pouring ourselves out. And we had a situation happen where it was an exact exhibit A of what we were talking about. Someone who just truly didn't love what we were doing and telling us how terrible we were at our job. And it was like, I called her and I was like, this ain't it.
But that's exactly what happens, because you have an upline that's going to constantly criticize you for not doing enough because you're not getting their paycheck up. That's the only reason. That's the only reason they do this. It's not right. It's not fair in any aspect of jobs. But to do that and belittle someone purely for the simple fact that they're not earning your paycheck because they're the one that's doing the work is so wrong.
this ain't it. And it started a conversation where we were bawling because this can't be really what it is. And honestly, a 45-minute phone call, and we completely turned our decision around. And like, we both have preached this for so long. You can convince yourself of anything. And we both were just like, if we've done it once before, we can do it again. It wasn't
and our company.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Well, I was going to say, our company, like the previous company that we were with, it has a lot of pressure. And for us, like, we probably put a lot of pressure on ourselves, but I know, having conversations with other people in that company, there's a lot of pressure on you to help others be successful. And it was like, that's what we wanted more than anything. Like, we both, I know, speaking for both of us, like, we just want to help other women, like, find their passion, be their absolute happiest. And so that's what we were trying so hard to do. And when she got a message that was literally the opposite of, like, you aren't doing enough, yet we were pouring our hearts and souls, like, literally all the time to make it better for them, to get that message, we were like, no, this is not how it's supposed to feel.
Yeah.
Like, we should not have this pressure and do all of this just to get, and you know, like, it's one person, but it's kind of like one of those things where it's like, it's a snowball effect. Like, it just keeps happening. People are quitting, people are leaving, you know, clients are telling you that you're not doing a good enough job, and it's like, oh, no, like, I'm literally pouring my heart and soul, like, this is not what it should feel like. And so, like,
it'd be one thing if we were like, you know, showing up half the time, but we were like, we take this very serious. Like, this is our career, this is our livelihood. And it wasn't like we were showing up half the time. It was a lot of heart and soul was pulled into it. But I will say, like, that's a lot of time. All of that is to say, I won't tell both of our story like super long and drawn out, but I had tried Arbonne before, and I was using their skincare products, and I had been like having this doubt a little bit. So I was like, all right, I've tried this, I tried that. So when we talked on the phone, I'm like, friend, I'm just telling you, like, we can do better than this. Like, we can do better than this feeling. I don't know if this is the exact answer. I don't know if this is going to change everything or not, but I also know that we can't keep doing this. And it was literally a phone call. And we were like, we got to do something. And that's where it all started for us. And this weekend, what you saw was something from us. Like, we started in June of this year, and we went 100% balls to the wall. There was no kind of, sort of, a little bit. We both left
like, not that we have to, but we have to. Like, this is our life. And
this is our livelihood. This isn't a hobby.
Seriously.
Yes. This is.
But you are worth so much more than doing this type of work, because you could be doing heck of a lot or even less work in a lot of areas than what the amount of effort and money spent into this to make a substantial living. And we know that 75 to 99% of the time they make very to low no money, and they're the ones spending money all year on product when you don't know if they're selling it or not. They're using it, but you don't know if they're selling it.
This is what we love to do. But the cool thing was, we actually love doing this. I love what we get to do. And so this past weekend, what you saw were people who decided to also jump in and do this with us by us sharing our story. It wasn't us going out and being like, oh my gosh, you should join me. What happens when you find a product that you love and you want to shout it from the rooftops? You literally do not care who likes it, but you love it so much that you're going to share it at the chance that someone else is going to like it. And that's what we both have done. And we have been brave and courageous. I'm just going to go here. I'm brave and courageous in sharing our previous story of talking about things that a lot of people won't talk about, of how they felt not good about themselves, how they've been chasing happiness, they've been chasing freedom and not being delivered it, and then making themselves feel like they're not enough. If
making themselves think that they're the problem. Like,
yeah, and if they're not someone that
isn't that always the main thing that they go to in every MLM, is they always are the one dictating. Other people are the problem when they're not willing to see the problem up front. Like, it's not the people in the downline that are the problem. It's the whole structure of the system. No one's getting paid except for the people as it trickles down from the top that are, like, getting moolah. So that's the issue here. It's not like they're all getting a substantial paycheck. Would love that for them if they were, but they're not. So it's just... It just seems like it's all about we didn't see our people winning, or we weren't winning. No, it was because you guys were probably at the top and weren't seeing a drastic paycheck like you had before. And then you're like, oh no, we can do better.
It's like, a hot spot, if they're not a part in their business, if you are not somebody that they need to rank advance, or you are not someone who is important to them for their rank, you are not talked to. And we both know that feeling. We literally know exactly what that feels like. And I also know that myself, I wasn't the best person when it came to certain times like that, because you were taught that.
Because that's what you're taught. And like our previous company is very dependent on, you cannot be successful unless people underneath you are successful. Like
it's almost like they acknowledge it's a pyramid scheme. Almost like they acknowledge it right there, where they're like, I'm dependent on making money and being more successful if I have people below you or below me. Like, you are very much aware. The cognitive dissonance is very apparent here.
People underneath you are not ranking up, you're not ranking up. And so if you are desperate to make this work and this is your livelihood, it's like, I am so dependent on these people below me to see success. And so when someone below you is running and like doing the things, you're going to be giving them attention. And it's not that you would purposely not give others attention, because we truly do. We love people so hard, but it's like,
literally,
this is our life. And so it's like, we're focusing on them, and you don't ever want to disclude some, or whatever that word is, like exclude someone. But when your business relies on this person, it's like, that's just how it is. And like, we were talking this weekend, we're like, oh my gosh, we hate that happened, because so many of our girls this weekend also came from the previous company, not even on our team, but that's how they felt. And they're like, I felt like I didn't matter, I felt like I didn't belong. And with you guys, literally, you guys, every single person matters. With Arbonne, every single person matters. It doesn't matter if your people underneath you are ranking up. What matters is that you're showing up, and that those people are showing up and sharing what they love. Like, they do not have to rank up for you to rank up.
And I want to share how. I want to share how, because a lot of you guys were asking questions of like, hey, how does this work? And like, here is a thing, and this is like, it's going to blow your mind, because it truly blew our minds. And it was one of the biggest.
It sounds too good to be true. It
really does.
It does. But it is
so,
like,
for us, literally, thank you, God. It was one of the biggest deciding factors for us, because we were like, we both know, like, I'm going to work no matter who's showing up. And so our company now with Arbonne, it is a volume-based business. And that means one product matters just as much as 500 products. So you don't treat someone differently because they're only ordering this. And I know, and I'm going to go ahead and speak for you too, Kinsey, that like, when you would have interactions with people and they would tell you like, no, I'm not interested in your package, we would be like, oh, fine, I guess I'll just get you this. And I look back and I'm mad at myself. But it's like, when that's what you know and that's what you're taught, you literally can't help to teach that way. It's just like, a lion is taught to kill animals. It's not like it wants to, but that's just what it's taught. And for us, it was like, oh, all that mattered was get them set up with one certain way. And that's what we knew.
Because that's how you guys make money, that way. Because if you set them up for a higher package, you get a better return in commission. That makes sense.
It was because that's what helped you make you and be successful. And then you taught your people that. You literally don't know what you don't know. And with this business, everything is volume based. And I saw somebody ask, like, how do you rank up if you don't have a team? Well, this is the thing. Having a team is awesome and incredible and super helpful, because then you don't have to do as everything much work, because you can help them. Because you guys, you can build a house by yourself, but it's so much easier when you've got a team of people building a house with you. With everything being volume based, the way that you rank up is literally sell product, help people get set up with products that are meeting their needs. You have a conversation with them and you're like, what do you want to work on? And then you pick and choose.
Arbonne has everything. Makeup,
like literally everything.
And body.
Yeah, so do like a handful of other ones that have everything now. You're not any different.
Care and men's care and baby care and health, and it's like, it's also good.
It's all the things that we genuinely love, and it like fit our lifestyle. But this, like, to get back to what we were saying of like, you help people. That's how you rank advance. Like, you rank advance or get up in the company or whatever you want to call it.
You help your people help people, because it's like, I look at my team, and if someone only celebrates a lip oil and a fizz, like if she only sells a lip oil and a fizz, I am celebrating her. Like, I am not like, oh, you should have went for the whole package. I am like,
you're love bombing them into submission of, stay here, get me money, love bomb all the way. Like, please stop doing that. We know it's fake. We know the only reason why you do this is so they keep going along with what you're selling. With what you're selling. Well, I can't talk. But I'm sorry if you can hear my kids in the background of the noise. I'm trying to dim it down.
I'm so freaking proud of you because every single thing counts. And like for them, I know for my girls specifically, and I know for your girls too. Obviously, I just spent the whole weekend with them. I know, but like just being able to genuinely, like she said, meet people where they're at and help people. That's what fulfills us. I think more than anything is to just be able to help so many people in so many different ways. And for our girls and ourselves who are not feeling the fulfillment with our previous company, or we're not feeling like we mattered, when we are able to help someone with a lip oil and fizz, we're like, oh my gosh.
And I think it's truly, it's like a gateway too. It's like there's two perks to it. So number one, it feels so good to meet people where they're at, to be like, okay, what are your goals? What do you want to spend? What do you want to work on? And then you help them and you do that for them. But because that literally is so easy, it's duplicatable. So that when your girls sign up and 99 goals, what do you want to spend? What do you want to work on? And then you help them and you do that for them. But because that literally is so easy, it's duplicatable. So that when your girls sign up, and 99.9% of all of our girls who were there signed up as preferred clients first. They literally got the product. They were like, holy crap, this is incredible. Can I share this? Like, can I become a consultant? That's literally that's how we start all of our girls. Because here's the thing. You do exactly what Kenzie said. You have to love this product. You cannot just want success. You cannot just want to be an influencer.
Because you must be a product of the product. Of course. I hate that they always push the issue to love it. Or if you don't, you're not in all the way, which is kind of silly. Any job you work, you don't always have to like every aspect to it. So why should you be forced to like something that you don't like fully for every aspect of the company, like, or everything that they sell? Why should you have to like everything?
If you don't love and believe in what you're selling, people won't love and believe in you. And that's what we are like, listen, we've chased success before. We're not doing it anymore. We are going to attract it. And that's what we have done. And I know that wholeheartedly for both of us. We're just like, you know what? I love this fizz. And what happens is y'all who are watching us, you're like, all right, I don't know what's going on. Like, I don't know how you're so happy or whatever, but like, I guess I'll try this fizz, or the mind health, or the gut health, whatever it looks like. And then you physically feel results. And you're like, you mean I don't have to want to take a nap every single day at 2 p.m.? You mean I don't have to deal with stomach issues and gut issues every single morning when I wake up? Because that was me. Like, I literally all the time felt that. And it's so crazy to me that it does. It feels like it's not.
You know, a lot of those things that help are changing diet. And I even noticed certain things when I changed my diet, like cutting out a majority of soda. I don't drink soda anymore. I drink flavored sparkling water. Didn't think I would like flavored water or sparkling water like I do, but I do. But it helps. You know why? I don't have the problems with soda causes with indigestion, not nearly as often. And it just seems to help with the need for caffeine in that way. Like it tastes good and it's better for me than the other route. So it helps me dictate the healthy choices I make too, because like once I cut that out, I've had more healthy routes now to choose from and what I do, because I know I need to think smarter on what I eat and what I put in. Granted, I do like to enjoy things. Doesn't mean I'm going to stop enjoying them. It just means I know what helps my body. And you have to learn and find out those things from your doctor and like what you need to maybe cut out. And I didn't like get told I need to cut it out. I just chose to cut it out.
Real. Whenever we talk about like the way that we have grown, one of the biggest questions that I said repeat questions, I guess, is like, how big of a team do you have? I honestly mean it when saying like, I don't know, because I just welcome it all. Like, I'm like, girl, you want to do this? Awesome. Let me help you. It's no longer like, I need 12 people. So I need to get 12 people.
I was going to say, like, and I know, like, I don't want it to sound bad, but it's like we are not begging people Like, you know, with our previous company, it was like, oh, just work this business with us. And with this, we are just, I feel like it's just because we are so genuinely happy and we do feel so good. And then our customers feel good. They want to work it. Like, we have not begged people to show up. And that is what drained us so much. Like, with our old company is like just begging people to show up and like begging people to sit with us. And like this weekend when we had all of those girls there, it literally like we shared a room.
I think they might have been in Monty, but I'm not sure.
We're like laying in bed till 2 in the morning. I'm like, it feels like a dream. Like these girls
It
like
really like over and over and over. We're like, is this real? Like, is this real? And the best part was like how appreciative they were, because 90%, I mean, I think almost every single person that came from there came from our previous company, and they were not from our team previously. Yeah. They were just like, this is so different. And I will say that's probably the biggest question that we both have received this weekend. How was it different?
I don't know how to tell you it's different. It is so hard to put into words.
Yes, it isn't. It is a multi-level marketing company. For someone just asks, is it a multi-level marketing? It is Arbonne, yes. And we absolutely love it. It's changed both of our lives in a very short amount of time. And I know that's such a harsh thing to say. It's given us belief. And that right there, it does not have to be the thing that changes your life. But if it is the thing that gives you belief, it trickles into everything. It trickles into your marriage, into how you talk to your kids, how you have relationships with.
I think that's just something that should be instilled in you regardless of what you're doing. But that's just my opinion. You can have belief in a lot of things. And even like strong moral standing. It doesn't mean like anything else you do doesn't affect your daily life in any way. Having those things, like how you handle certain things, definitely determines how you are perceived. But I'm not sure if like just because you're basing on belief, depending on what belief you're talking about. Are you talking about toxic positivity? Then yeah, that's not healthy. You need to be able to accept negative things that happen. It's not healthy to be so wrapped in this mindset of, oh my gosh, if it's not working, obviously something's wrong with me. Or something bad's happening, so what do I have to do to fix it? Sometimes you just gotta accept what bad things happen. No matter what it is, you can't always change it. And sometimes and if you can, and if it is something you can change, you should be willing and able to accept those things about yourself that might need to be changed. And that's okay. It should never be a problem. But that's my little rant.
I have to bring up a story that one of the girls was telling us, because sometimes you'll think it's you. Like, say you tried a company and you were not seeing success and you were not helping people. I know, like, one of our girls there, she was like, I didn't feel like I mattered. I didn't feel like I was good at this. I didn't feel like I was cut out for this because I never like really ranked up. And now she's in the second level of Arbonne and literally helping so many people and seeing success. So it's like, if you're just sitting there and maybe you're in a company, maybe you're not, but you're just like, I don't know, like that I'm not super successful. Well, it might not be you. Like, it's 99% not you. It's just the vessel that you're in.
You're admitting 99% of the time you're getting your results if you're up on the as an upline coming from your downline. So you're aware of this?
Is not allowing you to be. And that's like why we love this so much, is because it literally allows everybody to be and see success. Like, if you're going to show up to work, you're going to have success. Like, you know what I mean?
And success varies for everybody.
It's an effort-based business, and it comes down to like it's up to you. Like, how much are you willing to work? How much are you willing to decide that this is what you're going after? And for us both, like, showing up on social media isn't hard for us. And I understand that there are a lot of people like that. They struggle with that feeling. But here's what I want to remind you is, like, people are going to love you for the same reason they hate you. And they're going to hate you for the same reason they love you. So what happens if you just showed up as yourself and you shared why you love the product that you're using and the problem that you're solving? And that's what we have done time and time again, over and over and over. You may think that makeup isn't a big deal, but to a mom who's just feeling run down and tired and wore out, a 5-minute face picks up your attitude. And when your attitude is better, you're like,
it looks so good. You guys, I put makeup on at 6 in the morning. I went and did a CrossFit workout, and I kept that. I know it's kind of gross because I didn't shower, but I kept that same makeup on for our party. Like, we were like, oh my gosh.
It literally was like, it looked so good. And I think that's what I love about that is that it's not one avenue. It's not just like you have to be this, you have to look like this. There is not a one thing that is for Arbonne. It's like you decide what Arbonne is for you. That's what you decide.
Everybody, because when we went like a few weeks ago, or almost a month ago now, we went to Arizona for a retreat. Y'all, you walk into that room and there are women who are 70 years old. And I think the youngest was probably like 20, 21. And it's like, Arbonne is for everyone. Yep. It is literally, if you just like, okay, and you know, we have girls who are like, I'm not so much into the makeup, but give me all the health benefits, like give me all the health things. And it's like, that's your lane. Like, go with that and run with that. And it's like, we have girls who are like, I'm not so into the health stuff, but like, love the makeup. And it's like, well, run with that. And I think that's why I know that's why we both love it so much, is because we get to help so many different people. We're not just the fitness girl. Like, we literally just get to be who we
get to be ourselves. And like, fitness is very much such a big part of my life. Like, I'm obsessed with CrossFit, love it so much, but I love that I get to be myself, because I have been a makeup girl since I was probably 10 years old. And it's like the fact that I get to have all avenues, and then I get to reach so many people. So I get to talk to the fitness girl. I get to talk to the makeup girl. Even better if I get to talk to the makeup girl who loves fitness. Like, the fact that it's all avenues. And then a lot of the questions that I was receiving in my inbox asking about, like, what do you have to do to be a successful consultant? It literally comes down to show up, be consistent, and love the product. That's what it is. And like,
sure, sometimes that is the thing, but well, not even sometimes. It really isn't. Honestly, it's not. You could show up and do it forever. And if you don't have the right timing, the right amount of people, and you're not able to sell it, no matter how much you push it, it's never going to really get you anywhere. Because, like I said, 75 to 95 or 99.6% lose money, get very little money, or make no money at all. So you're constantly having to put money into something that's basically just going to keep making everyone up higher the money back that you've been putting in. How does that help you? It helps them, doesn't help you. And to have it happen in the right timing is all that matters. The right timing is all that matters.
Meeting people where they're at is probably one of the biggest blessings that you can have for yourself and for your team that is coming in, because it's like the reason why this weekend was different. I can tell you why it was different. I did not have to act, or fake anything to who I am. I am exactly who I am. There was no buffer, no in between. And I have attracted girls who love and appreciate that. And because I don't have to act a certain way or be a certain way, it wasn't
show up a certain way.
Yeah. Yes, it was authentic, and it was refreshing, and it was just like reassuring that, hey, by the way, you are loved for exactly who God made you to be. And that right there, like, that's why it's different for me. It's no longer fake it till I make it and hope that my next rock star shows up and then I'll be successful. I'm successful right now. You're successful right now because we are showing up as ourselves. And that's actually the goal, friends. It's really hard to believe. It's hard to believe.
Like, we're telling our girls to show up as themselves. And like, for so long, they've not been showing up as themselves. They felt like that you feel like yourself isn't good enough. And it's like, no, you were made this way. Like, you are exactly who you are supposed to be. So you need to show up as you, because that's going to attract your people. So
yep,
it's so good.
This weekend was it was so much more. I mean, honestly, it was so much more than we both planned. It was awesome. It was incredible. And like the whole weekend, it was kind of like, can you pinch us? Like, can we pinch each other? Because it just doesn't feel real to just be so loved for who we are, I guess. And then, like, honestly, the exact same, like, loving those girls who were there, because they're just like, I'm just so happy. I'm so thankful that I could help my cousin and my grandma and my aunt and my uncle. And it's like, could you do that previously? And for us, with our previous network marketing business, that wasn't the answer. And we were so focused on, like, what we could do to be successful, because then we were going to feel better, that we were literally missing out on so much of my life. And I know I can speak for you as well, that like your life at home has changed completely.
My life is so different, because I'm not like, I just think with Arbonne, you can, like, we've said this so many times, but like I show up and I share my life, and Arbonne is a part of it. I have, if you guys don't know me, like I have 2 little girls. I have a 1-year-old and I have an almost 4-year-old, and like my life is crazy chaos. My husband works crazy busy schedules, but it's like I just show up and share my life, and I love these products so much. And the business part, like, because I was so stressed about my other business, I was so stressed about like seeing success and getting other people successful, that this, I just get to show up and be me, and it is blessed us in goodness.
It's immeasurably more. Immeasurably
really more. Yeah, it is. So good.
That's what I would say for me, and like just the conversations that I have with people, and like the conversations that I have with my husband now is very different compared to what it was before. And he said it. One of his friends is actually the one who was finishing our drywall in our house. And the other day he was just like, so like, how is work going? I'm like, it's so good. And I remember thinking to myself, like, I don't know that I would have said that except for when I was being successful, and I would have said it out of the thought of like, I need you to know that I'm successful. But now I'm like, it's so good because I just love what I do and I love what I share. And
until the scam no longer works and you have to change again, then you're going to say, I wasn't happy here, and now I'm going to jump companies and take my team with you and do cross recruiting and do all this illegal stuff. That's not allowed. No. Please stop this. It's an endless cycle. You're going to keep going and going and going until you realize it's not you. And granted, it's okay to not always be so happy in what you're doing. It's okay. We all have those days. We're okay to accept some mediocrity sometimes. Does it always seem to be a normal thing? Not really, no, because granted, would I love to travel more? Yes. Am I able to right now? No, but it's okay. But I'm okay where I'm at. Like I'm not okay in saying like okay, but like I'm thankful for the life I have. I don't have anything to be upset about. So, in my opinion, it's how you perceive things. Granted, you have to accept the good with the bad.
He was like, yeah, Michael told me that you're so much less stressed and you're so much happier. And I was like, he did? Like, it's not a you thing. Like, I mean that wholeheartedly when we say that. It's because it's like who you are and what you do affects everything. You guys think about this. If you had a really bad day at work, or maybe you dealt with someone who was really crappy or gave you a really bad attitude, 99.9% of us leave that situation, you go home, and then you keep that burden.
Why is she keep repeating the same statistic? And I don't even know what they're based off of. Do you have any sources to cite on these? None? Okay.
With you, and then your kid does something and you snap at them and you're mad. Now, I'm not telling you don't get mad anymore, but what I'm saying is sometimes what you are doing isn't actually fueling you enough, so then you're taking that same attitude and that same mood and bringing it to the rest of your life. So when you're wondering why we're saying like Arbonne's changed our life, you're like, oh my gosh, it's only been 6 months. Girl, it's because it's given us an actual outlet and a light, and we're not carrying around what feels like a gunny sack praying, oh, man, I hope this works. I know it works because here I am showing up as the best version of me, and I'm attracting women who are like, that's exactly what I want to do. Like, it's not just how they want to be or feel, but they want to do the exact same thing because they know what it feels like to be a part of either another company or a job where it is truly draining you. And it's like, girl, I want to give you an outlet because you should be pouring out, not constantly having to be poured in.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So good. I was trying to think if there's any other questions specifically from this past weekend. Let me see if there's anything else down here, just to see if there's one that we could answer. But like, it was incredible. It really was incredible. Does anybody have any questions specifically? If you do, it'll pop up at the bottom.
Just pop up. Because we only see like 4 things.
I know. It's just like literally like 2 answers.
I know.
A lot of people are like, I just love that. I love that for you. I love that. Well, we love it for us too.
And it might not be for you, but like we know that we have to share because it might be for someone. Like, you know, if
I think that too, we've said that before. It's like our job in this is not to, we're not sharing. We're not in the convincing business. That's for dang sure. It is very much like.
That feels so good.
No, but you're definitely going to be brainwashed into believing everything you're saying because they have to do it in order for you to stick around long enough. Sorry to move my stand a little bit. Alright, I'll just leave it there.
Because with where we were previously, I felt like we were always trying to convince people that like this is what you need, this is what you
can
need.
do this.
And for this, we're like, I mean, if you want to do it, I would absolutely love for you to, but like I'm gonna be here showing up no matter what, like because I genuinely love it. And like, you know, guys, with network marketing, you're gonna have people quit all the time. Like it's just inevitable. And previously, if someone would quit, I would feel crushed. Like
I feel like that should be like a red flag already. If you are already telling people are gonna quit all the time, that's not something that's normal. And that definitely, sorry if you can hear the meowing in the background, but it definitely shows that you choose to not see things that are definitely big red flags. Like you have to see them. And it's not, I hear you. Hi, Banksy. What's wrong? What's wrong, Banksy? Banksy's looking at me. What's wrong? It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Alright, sorry about that. I was giving him a treat. I got 2 new kittens. Banksy and Hazel. Hazel's still a little skittish, so she hasn't come to me right now. But I have them in their kennel. Because they're so tiny, and we have a big dog.
It was like, oh my gosh.
It was about me. Like, it was about me.
What did I do wrong? And I have already had people quit, like, this business. And I'm like, that's okay. Like, I still love you. And, like, I'm not going to sit here and cry that you don't love this as much as I do. I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh, my gosh, like, my business is going down the drain because they left me. Like, what can I do better? I'm like, okay, I love you. It wasn't meant for you. Like, I can completely, like, bless and release those, like, those feelings are just not even... Does that make sense? Like, it's not even about
They're not
me.
even there. Like, I know.
No, I'm like...
It's a totally different feeling. I think also, like, one of the biggest things, and we had that talk previously about, like, when someone would quit, it would be like, oh my gosh, what could I have done differently? And I love that you're saying, like, I have also had girls quit this business. Like, you guys, it's not that this business is magic. It's that we decided that it gave us the magic that we've been looking for. And so, like, I want to say that. Like, it's about what we have wanted and what we have prayed for and what we have worked on. And that doesn't mean that it's everything for everybody, but it could be. But you will never know until you try. And like what I always say, I'm like, what's the worst that's going to happen? You try the products, you don't like them. Okay, you're done. You try the products, you love them, and you decide that you want to share it. Okay, no one buys from you. But do you love the products? If the answer is yes, like, okay, so like you're literally not losing anything because then you're able to get the products that you are loving, how it's making a difference. But it comes down to the same thing over and over and over. It's the products. Like, you have to love and believe in the products, right? And that's the biggest thing that you have to remember. I had a couple questions come through.
I see a husband. So my husband was very supportive. Kyra's husband was supportive. It was just scary. It was a scary transition for both of us because when we left, oh my gosh, when we left where we were, that was like, you had to quit. Like, you had to quit and you no longer got a paycheck. So it was scary for us. It was scary for our husbands to be like, what?
My husband definitely took a longer time to, I won't even say convince. It was just and I will be very open, honest with this. I am the main income in our household. I was with our previous network marketing business. I am also with this network marketing business, but it's earnings at arbonne.com if you want to know any income potential and availability.
I will say we're not typical, but
we are not typical. Our results are not typical, but our work ethic is not typical, and our goals are not typical. But I was our main income, and so when I went to my husband and I'm like, I'm super unhappy, and it was probably like 2 months of off and on of just like, babe, like I really mean it, like I'm not happy, and it took one conversation sitting at a Cracker Barrel at brunch, and I was bawling my eyes out, and I looked him straight in the face and I said, I don't know what I'm going to do, but I cannot keep doing what I'm doing. And he saw the look in my eyes and he was like, okay, you're done.
And I think that's something you have to ask yourself too, because, you know, we sat in those feelings for months. Like, I think Kendall was like 6 months old at the time, right? And for 6 months, like, it was my whole second child, like, we were going through this. And for 6 months we sat there, and when we were on the phone in that 45-minute conversation where we were just bawling to each other, it was like, and maybe this is something you have to ask yourself, but it's like, for 6 months, we've been trying to redo things. We've been trying to change things up. We've been trying and pouring our heart and soul just to be not appreciated and not feel good. And it's like, okay, if you continue to do what you're doing exactly today, will you be happy 6 months from now? And we were just both like, no, not even a little bit. Like, if I was still where I'm at 6 months from now, I would still be crying. And now I'm like, if you tell me I'm going to be here 6 months from now, I'm going to be like, okay.
I literally, okay, that's fine.
Darn it.
It truly is the best. And I really think that it is very much important to know that, like, it was a decision that we both made. And, like, we discussed it with our husbands, obviously, but it was, they could tell, they could see, they were living in our lives. They knew what we were like. They knew how stressed we were. They knew how much it was, like, it truly was draining us because we had been trying for so long. And I need you to know that. There wasn't like, it's just like,
if I have seemed to you guys on the outside, I know I had so many messages that are like, what the crap? Like, what is going on? And I was like, well, I mean, that was obviously still my business, so I can't show up and act like I'm truly unhappy. But, like, there's been a lot of things going on behind the scenes and a lot of feelings for a long time. Like, it might seem crazy to you, but, like, something has been in the making for a while, so.
Yeah, and it very much was what you guys saw was our decision, but you didn't see the trauma. Like, that's the best way to put it. You didn't see the behind the scenes because when you don't have the exact answer, it's kind of like, you know, when you're going to move, you don't just burn your house down and then hope you have a new house. Like, you find a new house and figure out, okay, how are we going to move? How are we going to get things packed up? And I think that some people felt very...
Why would you say burn your house down? If you're renting, obviously you can't do that. And if you do burn your house down, that's arson. That's an odd statement to make.
Ill feelings towards us because, like, I didn't know. And it's like, but do people normally say that? Like, hey, by the way, I'm thinking of quitting my job. No, because then that job would fire you. So many jobs do that. And it was very similar to that. And so, like, I just want to tell you, like, to wrap this all up, is that our goal 1000% is to give you the borrowed belief if you need it. It is not to tell you that what we do is better. We're telling you we feel better.
We love it.
That's us.
We love it.
That's for us.
10 times better. Yeah.
And
100%.
It's just a reminder that, like, if you're feeling tired and run down and you can look at yourself straight in the face and know wholeheartedly that you're showing up the absolute best that you can, you've tried everything that you can and you're not feeling well, this is my reminder to you that, like, girlfriend, it's not supposed to feel that way for that long. Okay. So
don't read the last comment. It'll make you cry.
Okay. Okay. I won't read it. No, but I have to, because if I don't read it, I won't get to see it.
Okay. Just read it.
It is different.
I think
that's
we
the
get
best
that message.
way.
We get that message all the time of, like, well, I don't know what Arbonne is or what kind of crack they're selling, but, like, you're so much happier. And I'm like,
so much happier.
And I genuinely feel it. Like, and for us, I think, you know, I'm sorry, we're going to keep going. We've had a lot of conversations where people are scared to leave, maybe because of income, because, like, I mean, with Kyra, she was the head household moneymaker, and it's like, that's scary to leave. But it's also just, for us, I could not keep getting a paycheck, even though it was like supporting our family, even though the paycheck was supporting us and it was my full-time income. Like, I didn't care about the money because that wasn't fulfilling me. Like, I wanted to be happy. And I know with my work ethic, and I know with, like, my attitude, and I know I'm going to figure it out, and I know that I'm going to make it happen. So it was like, even though this is my income, like, I can't stay because I'm no longer happy. Like, it does not matter to me about the money. I will figure it out.
I'll figure it out. And that's very much what we did jumping in. We didn't actually have an actual idea of what this was. Like, we didn't have all the ins and outs.
I had never even tried the product. I got on a call and like the upline was talking to me and I was crying on the call and I was like, this is what I want. I don't know if it's gonna work, but this is what I need. I hadn't tried the product yet, but here
we are. Best thing we've ever decided. I think
Yes.
that is what I love that is important for us, is that we really allowed ourselves to be like, I don't know what you need, but I'm going to try and nourish you the best I can. And we knew that what we were doing wasn't actually nourishing us. It wasn't making us grow. And it's very much like you said, if you can see yourself 6 months from now where you're at and repeating the same day that you're repeating right now, if that's not where you want to be, then like, this is your reminder. Take a step. I don't know what that step looks like, but just take a step to do something different, because you truly do. Someone just said it. You glow differently when you're happy. You really do. So I just want to say, like,
That's the end of that video. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope you will like and subscribe and let me know. I can't talk today. Let me know your thoughts. So I hope you like it, and let me know what your thoughts are down below. Any video ideas would be greatly appreciated, because I'm trying to branch on to different aspects. Granted, I know not everything gets a lot of views, but it is what it is. So I hope you enjoyed, and have a great day. Bye.